And so you get a lot of stories about murder. You get a lot of stories about crime, weather, politics, and the reason why you get those stories is not because that's what news wants to cover. You know why you get those stories? It's because those stories are easily accessible to the newsroom. They are easy to verify. Trust me, anytime there's a big story that has nothing to do with crime or murder, they're going to cover it all day. Because all of a sudden, right, there's no murders or accidents or anything on those days. Big weather days, where are all the murders and accidents? Oh, they're still happening, but that's not what they really want to cover. Anytime there's a big football or big, opening, they would rather cover community-based stories because that impacts the community, and they don't want to do negative every day. The problem is nobody's sending them the stories. Okay, so my job as a producer, selfish producer, what I'm doing now is I'm teaching businesses how to identify those stories so that you will share them with the newsroom. So not only have I been a news producer all these years, I've always been a freelance producer. And why that's important to you is because most of that time I was producing corporate videos. So now I tell it like a news story, but I highlight it like a corporate video. All the way through these stories that you've been watching on social media, Angelina is filled with websites along the bottom, things scrolling. I'm telling you, what their messaging. Number one, when you tell a story on social media, you own the messaging. The media doesn't. That's huge. When news comes to cover you from your local ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox affiliate, they own the messaging. Yes, Angelina.
No, I think it's good to, take advantage of owning a story versus having the media cover it because they give it different spin.
Not only that, as they are bound by commercials, okay? So when news comes to do a story about you, they usually only have a minute 15, minute 30, generally speaking, because commercials only allow for about 20 minutes of news, and then you've got weather and sports, and weather and sports takes a chunk out of that too. That breaking news is so important, right? Because breaking news says we have something that's exclusive. We have something that's happening right now, and we want to be known for bringing it to the community first. That's why breaking news is so important to them. They want to be first. They want to be the go-to people for the community, because what people don't recognize is that news is really a service organization. They operate just like a nonprofit. Nonprofits have sponsors, right, that pay the bills, or donors. News has a commercial. The only product they have is the story. And that's what I did. I was a salesperson. Didn't realize I was in sales, but I was. As a producer, it was my job to sell every story. Make sure that angle of the story would connect with people. That's what you want to think. The most powerful marketing tool you have is your phone. 100%. I have been getting news coverage with my telephone, and I teach businesses. I even have a masterclass on how to shoot video that you can share with the media with a press release, and they will cover it. Why? Because they just don't have enough camera crews to get around to all the stories, some of these other stories that we really like, right? They love those stories too, but they just don't have enough camera crews to go around and cover them. So one of the first things I'm going to tell you, the most powerful thing do not shoot like this for television, horizontally. When you shoot it vertically, what happens? You see that black on both sides. It's so annoying, okay? It just doesn't look professional. But if you shoot it horizontally, no one at home is going to know that your video was shot on your phone. And news kind of likes that. They don't want to tell everybody we're using your phone video, okay? Unless they have to. They do use phone video a lot now, but you have to keep that in mind because this is your number one marketing tool. And I tell people, your phone goes with you everywhere you go, but your marketing department doesn't. You want to show whatever is strongest about what you do and whatever you love most. Don't be all over the place. Decide who you're going to be and start there and blast it. You know what I mean? Because for me, people keep trying to make me a PR person because I'm very good at generating news coverage. But I'm good at generating news coverage because of this, because of what you're doing today. Because I know media inside and out. I know strategy. I know how to tell you how to get from point A to point B. I know how to turn a story that sounds like a commercial, because that's what's happening. Most businesses and nonprofits even, they're so used to selling themselves that when they send a press release, they sound like commercials. Well, that's a conflict of interest for news. So you have to change the point of view. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do. Identifying those news stories and changing that storyline just a little bit. It's usually just a little. Because sometimes I'll tell people, I said, if you're a business that has helped a client, let that client send the press release. Let the client say, this business, this coaching business saved my life. Okay? Totally different story. People now relate. It doesn't sound like a commercial. Now, if you say, I helped all these people, this is a commercial. But if the client says it, totally different.
I actually do marketing myself. I don't do for myself what I do for other people. And it's like the painter whose house needs to be painted. Just serving and helping other people takes a precedent over my own branding, my own. I do branding as well. I love to promote people and to bring out the best in them. So I do see your services as very instrumental. I mean, essential. I would even use the word essential for businesses. And I believe that you're knowledgeable, and I believe that you're passionate, which is very important for me. I don't work with people who are just in this for selfish reasons. I like to work with people who, when they talk about what they do, their face is gleaming, they're smiling, That's the type of people that I like to be around. So yes, I did enjoy your presentation, and
thank you for your time.
Yeah. No, the same for me. What I like more is, of course, that it's simple the way you explain it. However, it is, of course, you have been doing, and like I told you before, I see your growth and your expansion and your passion as well. So for me, going into kind of having the mindset to be taking pictures and to be talking. A lot of times when I'm at events, especially networking, I don't know what to say if I were to go on camera. So it's like being prepared, the mindset to make sure I'm on camera as much as possible. So I'll be able to post it and let people get to know me more.
That's
so, it's and the story. I have to improve my story.
And you just need to tell it. Your story, nobody can tell you how to tell you who you are, right?
Yeah.
Your story is original. So your story doesn't need improving. You just need to share it.
Yeah. Okay.